No messing around, let's get into Chapter 1, Known Issues of Rubberman's Exodus. Of the thousands that lived here, deep underneath, hiding from the remains of war, only some knew about the engineering levels. Some called it the heart of the complex, powering everything from its place down below. But a heart is not hungry the same way that engineering is. An atomic generator has a very specific hunger. Today it asked to be fed, suited up in environmental suits, with her apprentice Sasha by her side. Tara pulled a canister of uranium from the storage chute, and found it to be unexpectedly light. She held it in the tongs and jerked the canister up and down a little. "What?" she said to herself, placing the canister on the ground. What? Sasha inquired. She was younger than Tara, had not been an engineer during the last refueling. Sasha was here and suited up to learn about the refueling today. Well, the lesson was already diverging from expectations. The next canister had already slipped into the base of the chute, to be taken for a future refueling, but Tara took it right away. She was even less pleased. She let it fall to the floor and pulled out a third one, and let it drop to the floor as well. "What's going on?" Sasha nervously asked. Sasha didn't reply, dropping to her knees to grab one of the canisters with her shielded suit's gloves. She opened the canister, finding nothing inside, and stared into it for a moment before snapping to Sasha. "Geiger! What? Geiger reading!" Tara cried to Sasha. Sasha fumbled with her belt and brought a Geiger counter forward. The gloves made using controls cumbersome, but she managed to as quickly as she could. The counter was straining faintly. Tick, tick, tick. "Damn it!" Tara hissed, tossing the canister away and opening another. She brought it closer to the counter for much the same result. "Damn it!" Only trace amounts of radiation. They had once carried uranium, but obviously no longer. "Tara, what does it..." Tara ignored Sasha and grabbed the next canister in the chute with her gloved hands. It was too light as well, also empty. She grabbed the next one, empty, and the next one, empty, and the next one. While Sasha stood back and watched, Tara pulled can after can out of the storage chute. Dozens piled around them, and Tara's panicked breathing had fallen to sobs as the last empty canister left in the chute was spent and empty. Tara looked at the Geiger counter. The room wasn't clean, but it wasn't a threat. She put the Geiger counter back in her belt, knelt beside Tara, and took off her headgear. With off, her timid voice came clearer. "Tara, what does it mean?" Tara turned to her and took off her own headgear. Tears on her face, she silently held Sasha close. "Hun?" Tara sighed, composing herself a little. "Well, I guess I need to make a call." Picking up her headgear, she and Sasha left the shielded storage room. They passed the coolant pool and exited the dangerous materials section of the engineering through the contamination lock. They didn't have any significant lingering radiation on them and were spared getting hosed down. Tara and Sasha passed the engineers as they headed back to engineering's main control room. The engineers could tell by their faces that something was wrong, but Tara stride alone screamed, "Out of my way, don't ask, not now." She grabbed the headset of the radio built into the panel, checking the settings, and forcefully called out, "Messy!" Silence followed, and Tara impatiently squeezed the headpiece, staring at the overhead array of status readouts. "Messenger, come in!" If engineering was the heart, or stomach, or whatever, then the central elevator was the spine, going up about 40 stories through solid rock, habitat, farming, and various work levels, and up to their surface level. The messenger was the one who ran the grand elevator, and was the only one who had regular access to the actual. "Messy!" Tara hauled into the headset. Messy, or messenger, had once been an engineer like Tara, but had been chosen as the operator to the grand elevator, the sole person permitted to speak to actual. You talk to Messy when you wanted stuff. "Messy, we have a situation here, a bad one. We need you to get actual to get us some uranium. At this time we are running on fumes, soon to be running on backup capacitors. Repeat, we are out of uranium." This was a situation Tara had never known, nor had been warned about. There had always been more uranium in the dispenser, and that was issuing blanks. "Tara," came Messenger's deep voice eventually, "stop calling me Messy. Did I hear you right? No uranium? Is the dispenser stuck? No, it feeds me empties. Soon enough, fully suited against radiation, the dark-skinned messenger stood at the dispenser. He went through container after container just as Tara had done, until he felt convinced that all of them were empty. He then found himself standing among nearly 100 containers. He turned to Tara and said through his headgear, "Well, I know where these empties come from." Tara shrugged, bidding the messenger to continue. Messenger sighed. "I've taken at least 4 of these out of here and up the grand elevator through recycling. I assumed they cleaned them and pressed them down to usable metal. But instead they ended up back in my dispenser?" Tara asked. Messenger shifted his weight back and forth a little bit. There must have been other steps in between, but I can imagine some of these paths these containers may have taken, but we'd all rely on someone making sloppy, stupid decisions, and their successors just following along. And that would never happen. Of course, I'm going to have to perform an investigation and slap people upside the head whomever needs it. But here we stand, surrounded by empties, and the fact remains right now. "We are out of uranium," Tara flatly said. "Indeed. Can you get Actual to get us more?" "Of course," Messenger said, "but the speed of delivery is not always predictable. You have backup power?" "Yes, capacitors are nearly as full as they can get. We'll be okay for a while, 2 weeks. Is there any way you can ration power supply out? Cut non-critical systems. It might be possible to dim light, but that will require some new wiring to facilitate." Tara looked upwards through the ceiling. "I'd have to access some remote distribution nodes, and there'd be... I could limit disruptions to Section 2, and the end result would be lower light and..." Messenger nodded. "I'd have to warn people, which at best would create a certain unease from mentally going through the different districts in the facility and the varying ignorance of the people living in them. Well, even a minor change in lighting could be problematic. There were subjects, most of whom have no idea about the world outside. Then there was the citizens, quarantined for their own violent history, who worshipped Actual like a god. The providers, who operate most upkeep, repairs, and mid-technical minutiae. And the engineers, the most educated of them, who ran the generator. "This could be messy, Tara said. Messenger grumbled. "Well, I guess my first step is asking Actual for more uranium. You look into rationing power." Tara sighed. "I don't envy you, Messy. Then again, I haven't tinkered with distribution nodes nearly as deeply as this before. Crap. I don't envy me either." That was chapter 1. Rubberman's Exodus. That was the whole chapter. Yay. It was a short chapter. How short is it? Yeah, it's not even 4 pages. And the whole book is about 290 pages. If you're interested, check it out on Amazon or on my site. It's in paperback, hardcover, and Tingle? It's in Tingle. Kindle. I hope to eventually have an audiobook of it, but that's quite a bit ways down the road. And it'll be somebody doing the voices of me and my wonderful audio conditions. So you see how Tara and Sasha and Messenger are having to now figure out the power problems for this facility that's, it's got about 2,000 people in it, and they've been under there for 133 years, and they're all idiots. Most of them are idiots. A lot of them are idiots. But they're going to have to figure it out, and things are going to get interesting for them as they try to figure it out and maybe ask for some help, and they'll get help, and it'll be more help than they wanted, and it's going to be rough. They'll make it. I think, most of them, right? Did I kill any of them? Did I kill any of them? How many of them did I kill? I don't know. Either way, have a good one, and